Hey my loves. Welcome back. I thought I'd get all cozy in my office space. Yes, I still have a Christmas tree up and it is, oh wow, yeah, Christmas has been over for like 3 months. But I like to decorate it for spring, so I got my Christmas trees back out and I'm going to cover them in spring flowers and do a photo shoot for Patreon. So I just haven't gotten around to that. But I wanted to pop on here and say hi. How are you doing? Are you feeling cozy in your self-care? Are you feeling good about that? I hope you are. My self-care this year is going to be a lot of homesteading, gardening, all that kind of good stuff. Just getting my hands dirty, you know? So I thought I would share a couple things that I have learned as I start to dip my toe into homesteading that, oh my God, I wish somebody would have told me. One is if you're looking at raw land, just how long it takes to do and I'm not talking about building a house, to do anything on the raw land. The raw land that I'm working on to start our glamping and day spa business is a year, almost a year into having applied to get electricity run from across the street by the electricity company. All my paperwork's been submitted, my maps, my plan, all this. Just basic electricity, just so that I could run a well pump, that's all. Still hasn't been done. So really realize that everything's probably going to take like 2 to 3 years just to get started. So it's a crazy time sink. Now this is just for Western Washington. I have no idea what it's like elsewhere. I haven't bought a little piece of raw land anywhere. Second thing is, how are you going to get onto the land? I saw some land that you literally had to jump over a ditch. Like, I lifted my son up, threw him over the ditch, I jumped over the ditch, baby wearing my daughter, trying to get in just to be able to see it. So there's really like that starting hump of, if you're looking at a homestead, you're just looking at land, because a lot of people I know that want a homestead are like, oh, all I can buy is land right now, because homes are just so expensive. Think about how you're going to get onto it. Number 3, so if you buy a home that's on some land and you want a homestead, you have to think about, and this is stuff that maybe it seems obvious, but like, I'm a total newbie to this. Is it inside a city limit? Is it county? What kind of animals can you have on it? There have been areas that I've looked at that, like, you can't have roosters because it's a little too near the city, or suburbia, or you can't have a milk cow if you want to have your own milk because it's too near a watershed area. So you have to look, and I haven't found a good resource, Biscuits, tell me in the comments if you have. I haven't found a good resource that tells you, you know, like you can put in your an address or something you're looking at and go, oh, this Home Connect has. I have no idea. So I'm still totally navigating in the dark here for what you want, but really consider that. Like, look at the home that you're looking at, maybe you have a homestead already, like what's allowed. And number 4, does it get enough sunlight? Now this is Pacific Northwest in particular. You know, I've lived in places that really just don't get good sunlight. Like my last place that our family lived, I loved to garden, and I had to garden in our front yard, which the HOA hated, because the rest of the yard is beautiful yard, great yard, loved that yard, missed that actually. But it just didn't get enough sunlight to grow things. And it was so frustrating because I wanted to grow all these things in this great yard, and I realized I couldn't because it just doesn't get enough sunlight. So make sure you're finding sunny spots, which brings me to the other one. Is your homestead an HOA? So I've only done like suburban homesteading before, and now I live in kind of an urban area right now. So this would be urban homesteading. Which I'm going to try to do. I believe you can homestead anywhere, I really do. But what I've run into is city ordinances or HOA issues. And that has really halted like my plans. My last place had an HOA that said you couldn't grow anything over 6 feet tall. And I wanted to grow fruit trees because that's something that we really like to eat in our family. So my view of homesteading is always to find, like, what do we actually eat, you know? I don't need to grow beef cows if we aren't gonna eat beef, right? You know, I don't need to grow broccoli if none of us eat it. I could grow corn instead. And fruit is something that we all love in the family. So really look at like little creeper laws that will hinder what you can plant. Because I've been really surprised by that. Just like little things. And maybe most importantly, how are you going to get water in your homestead? To plant everything, to water all your plants, to water your livestock if you're going to do that. For yourself, like, where's the water coming from? That has been a really tricky one for me. Just on water rules and things like that. So really, like, keep an eye on that. I was listening to a podcast on homesteading, and these are like more hardcore homesteaders. I'm a lightweight homesteader. I'm the kind of homesteader that wants to be able to button up shop and go travel in the winter. I'm that kind of homesteader. But water is still so significant, and it can be really tricky to do. At my project that I'm working on for my glamping business, we're still working on getting water working on it, because the well is really old and it used to be run off of a generator, and all this stuff has to be worked on, so it's just slow go. I'm taking my patience with that, and eventually it'll get water. So just think about those like little tiny things for homesteading that I never even occurred to me, and boom, it's actually really important. Oh, that is, you can tell I'm a novice homemaker by giving these suggestions. I have lots more that I have been researching. I'm going to talk about it. I'm going to share with you. We're going to get the first family pet. I'll give you a clue. It quacks. I'm very excited. My kids are super excited. We've talked about it. We're just going to get a couple, and I'll let you guess in the comments what do you think it is. But it's going to be our first little homestead and family pet. We're putting together the little house it's going to live in now. It's actually in pieces in the garage right now as I put it together. And it's just exciting to kind of move forwards on this thing that we've kind of been hemming and hawing on the last year. Like, do we want to do this for ourselves? And I'm looking forward to kind of doing an urban homestead, because it's a great small scale way for me to learn and then expand out once we find our dream spot, So we'll see how that goes. Okay, biscuits, I will see you on the next homesteading video.